Hello to whoever was watching. Last time on Paranormasight, we finally caught up. Thank God. I was sick of replaying everything all over again constantly. It got really boring for me at some point, but I felt like it would have been weird if there was a giant gap of me not having played most of the beginning of the storylines. And weirdly enough, it ended up being a bit of a literal catching up in the game as well, because they were asking a lot of questions on previous events, kind of making sure I remember, which I obviously do now after playing it 3 times. Yeah, so after we got prank called by Fumichika Nejima, the assumed serial killer, allegedly, has been retconned by Harue's weirdly horrifying backstory. I'm really glad he's joining the Rite of Resurrection, but it's kind of sad for poor Tetsuo, because he got told that everyone he loves will be killed by his hands for putting him in jail, which, I mean, fair. Like, if you're gonna be a psychopath, obviously you're gonna want to hunt down the one that kind of is stopping your big master plan or whatever. But at least he gives us a deadline for the next night, so now we'll be playing in the daylight, which feels kind of weird and a lot less scary. Mio survived the night because we didn't tell the janitor to go check for her, meaning he also can be trusted. Harue thought that he might be Nejima, which I really hope he isn't, because I've been giving them both completely different voices. Mia and Yako talked to Hitomi about the teacher with the shitty haircut, who apparently got killed last night by a curse, but by none of them. The dead police officer that was helping Hitomi gave her like 1 or 2 curse stones. I mean, he gave her like good luck charms, basically, like those little bags. And I assume that the curse stones are inside those charms. I don't remember correctly. Fuck. Well, either way, she probably got 1 or 2 curse stones, knowing he would die soon. But Hitomi doesn't know much about the curses, so I kind of feel bad for suspecting Hitomi of all those horrific crimes. I was like, yeah, that bitch definitely did that. And I give her a bitchy voice because, I mean, she's a bit of a delinquent. Felt like it was appropriate. Speaking of horrific crimes, fuck Yonouchi, the teacher, sexually assaulting, blackmailing, and possibly murdering Michio with I think is with a curse stone. I'm not sure what curse. I don't even know if he had a curse stone. Either way, he deserved to die. I'm glad he's dead. He kind of had it coming. I actually hope it was Michio that killed him. Which makes me think of all the murders that have been happening before the Rite of Resurrection. Most of them seem to be killed the same way as with the curse stones, but according to Mio, that seems impossible unless that person has strong spirit sense, because the stones weren't active, like the Rite of Resurrection wasn't activated before that night, so those stones couldn't have... Actually, yeah, those stones got dropped after turning on the switch of the Rite of Resurrection on, you know? So how would they have used these before then? Unless they were already there? I don't know. Yeah, also unless the person has strong spirit sense. I've got a feeling that the moment you are killed while holding onto the curse stone, you get absorbed by it and are maybe able to use it or, like, I don't know, harness its powers or whatever. Just a little weird theory. I don't have much to back it up with, besides that Yonoichi and Yako suspect Michio killing Yonoichi, who's already dead and died in a way that could have happened by curse stone. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a bit far-fetched. I agree. Well, I guess I won't find out until I keep playing. Fuck, I actually don't remember what the last thing I did. I guess right now I'm with... Who am I with? Am I with Yako and Mio, or am I with the police guys? I guess I'll go to the Yasuda Gardens first. Not knowing who the fuck I am. I'm still Yako Sakazaki. 9 a.m. Former Yasuda Gardens. And so, Mio Kurosuzu and Yaku Sakazaki decided on their next location to investigate. Oh. That's not the place I'm supposed to be at, I guess. Resume. Start from a location selection. So it's not the Yasuda Gardens. Maybe it's Ryogoku Bridge. And so, yeah, okay, no. All right. Okay, Kumagata Bridge, Kumagata High School, or the candy shop. Bridge it is. I just kind of hope it is one of the bridges. And it isn't. Fuck, are you serious? I feel like I'm being really stupid right now. Like I'm supposed to know where I have to go. I just kind of left off at a weird time because I had to go somewhere. But so now I really don't remember what might have been the hint as to where I should have been looking. I know none of the ones I've chosen before are very logical, but it's just the places I kind of wanted to be at. But of course, we have to be at the high school because that's where the dead body was found. Oh, not even this location. Okay. Okay, so it really is just the candy shop then. I just have to stay at home. It's a bit of a weird location to start from. Because, like, what is there? Nothing happened at the candy shop. Sennoya. No way. Seriously? Okay. It was a dead end either way. I didn't have to go through all of that. That's so stupid. I had to go through one of the other storylines first. Oh god. Life can be tough. Or fancy sushi. I really want to do the detectives, but I want to do best for last. So let's go with life can be tough. Summary of previous events. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the curse stones, while Haruhi lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. Haruhi, you gotta give that shit up. Haruhi Shigima, 10 a.m. Shigima Mansion. Good morning, ma'am. How are you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what was limited time I had. Very well, let's talk. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs, but I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal but instead negotiate with a curse bearer and have them use the right for our purposes. Oh, I mean, I suppose it would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. compensation? Cash, for instance. It wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigimas, would it? Of course. Why? Any amount would be fine if I'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back when with the ransom. Okay. With that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. They're gonna ask that other teacher. Fuck, all the teachers suck in this game. About the curse bearers. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul drags. Did you see the news this morning? Well, it's not that they haven't been proactive, it's just that they've been stopped by by the detectives. No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in this area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attentions on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what you're saying? What the fuck? Only 3 were killed? That's so little. Oh. That's what I thought. Why is that also your thought? That's weird. That shouldn't be your first thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the slow side. With his little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal? None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if the situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it all off intended. Now, that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. It doesn't sound like coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they are likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the rite, this would be very risky since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murders. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls, while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action. Which is why I figured the best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. Okay. So, Richter is unsure if the mastermind that started this rite of resurrections actually has a curse stone themselves. I still really want it to be Yoko, because she seems a bit stupid enough to do that by accident. But it could also be the that guy, the teacher of Mio. Because he's like a strong enough, he's got a strong enough spirit sense to be able to, to do all of that. But we also don't know who the teacher of Mio is. Actually, I forgot to look around for stickers. Fuck, I feel like I should have looked around more. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna catch them all, but it would be nice to at least get half. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there even is a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. I like Haruhi for being a little bit more logical for once, because none of the people that have the curse stones have actually questioned if the rite of resurrection is real and if it can actually be used. Besides Haruhi. Haruhi's the first one to be like, hey, maybe this is all a hoax, even though she's the one that's most fixated on bringing back the dead. Seeing it might be for naught, do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But well, we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. I don't like that they used ourselves twice in 2 sentences. By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. I did some investigating into all of them, but I only managed to get a detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an investigator extraordinaire. Oh, they're so cute together. I appreciate the flattery. First, there's Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before. Though she isn't a curse bearer herself, she's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park. You even determined her address. You're not even one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum pretending to be her parent. It's that easy to get her address? What the fuck is Tetsuo doing? Honestly, like, what the fuck? He's not that great of a detective if he can't even find his daughter's home. I went around to check on her place on the way here. It doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Yikes, I hope she isn't dead. I mean, she's a bit annoying. I can only find her annoying because the one that she wants to resurrect back is someone that died at the age of 90 and had a fulfilling fucking life. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. Couldn't keep track of her. And here I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Next is the tall man who was dressed in black. I mean, he's dead, isn't he? Ah, well, yeah, true. What timeline is this? Because Shoko didn't kill him. But Shoko did die in this one from using the curse stone. I mean, either way, Shoko dies. So this is the one where... Yeah, is Yoko alive? Yoko is alive. The other guy's alive. Then how did Shoko die? Because Shoko only dies after killing, doesn't he? Ah, no, wait. Shoko also dies the first time seeing the curse from Yoko. So I guess this time Yoko... No, but... doesn't make any sense. Because he was found in a different location than from the... No, he was found in the park, I guess. Yeah, because I remember the weird back shots of him with the detectives. So Yoko and the tall man in black from his colleague, basically, are still alive. If Yoko's alive, where the fuck is she? We haven't seen her all night. Did she just go back home after accidentally killing Shogo? Or not accidentally, purposefully killing Shogo? I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out with the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as a secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Hanjo, right? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown a significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assume she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. I should have better luck later. I mean, she died, didn't she, the head of the company? I think a woman got found dead. I think it was the head lady of Hihaku Soaps. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the ride would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. Now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. Was it Shogo? It had to be Shogo. This one seemed to be out collecting soul drags, right? Oh no, it's Richter. Oh yeah, true. I need to stop thinking Shogo was alive. He died on the spot. Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him though. And I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. But he's like perfect for these two because he wants money. And he doesn't really care about any of that other crap. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh? You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text in the Rite of Resurrection? The one that lives near here? His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my, even he is involved. How awfully suspect. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. I actually don't think so, because he seems a bit too stupid and he doesn't believe in any of this shit anyway. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Well, that's stupid, because you need him the most. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. It actually is the right time to focus on him. He's perfect for your little plan. I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I will turn to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Yeah, he's the worst person to talk to, because he's ready to give up his life for this lady, but now she's dead. Their headquarters are down on South Varigasui Street. About the kidnapping. I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. The person who was identified as a school teacher, his name was Kohei Yonoichi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting closer. It's just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay it a visit. Understood. about the serial killings. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Hanjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and a police officer who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring like so, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true, both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved with those killings. How? Maybe they needed the deaths to start the rite of resurrection, like it requires, I don't know, not just spirit sense, but also bodies, just the same way as the actual rite of resurrection also requires you to collect soul dregs. Maybe they needed soul dregs to start the rite of resurrection. What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries curses? Yeah, and that is probably how Michio and the detective died. Okay. Then who the fuck is the mastermind? I need to know, and I hope we get like at some point the story chart goes like even further back than the beginning that we've played already. We get like a little bit of a new story chart there for the preliminary steps, because I want to see that as well. Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. Well, was he also friends with him? That's kind of sad. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on a mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. You should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Why should I be the one to decide? That seems a bit stupid considering you're the detective. You should be knowing where to go. Where should I go? Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me the most so far? Not this again. I don't want to check all the fucking locations just to find out it was too early with checking these locations. I have to go to like a different story chart again. I don't know. Any of these are pretty interesting to me. Maybe these 2 more than what is South Warigasu Street. I don't really remember much about this place. I think Komagata High School right now is gonna be kind of busy because of the death of the teacher. Maybe just Midoricho Park then. We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking again. That's a fucking weird thing to do. Also, who's that in the background? This place is connected with the story of the Taiko of Tsugaru. Not only that, Katsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why I chose to live here. Fuck that, man. A small park bordering South Warigasu Street, sporting a mixture of cherry and evergreen trees, although unremarkable in most respects. Its small playground always attracts a number of children come evening. With no trace remains in the modern day, it stands on what was once the site of the Tsugaru estate. The legendary artist Katsushika Hokusai is also believed to have been born in the vicinity. Hey, a birdie. Oh, good going, ma'am. You found a haiku. That's a rare one. Is it now? It's just a pigeon. Okay. Well, there's not much else to look at. What do you want me to look at the surroundings? I already did that. We won't get much done standing around here. Why don't we go check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak with her, do you? No, I prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, or just to potentially get a trace in her movements. Then be my guest. Okay. I shouldn't be long. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing? I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force keeping watch in the area. See, I knew it. Ayame is the daughter of Tetsuo, which is kind of sad because she just changed her last name to her mom's then, I guess. Or her mom did that, I don't know. I don't know if they got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Oh, yikes, or she's dead. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite them being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. Her electric meter? What do you want to find out with that? If she took a shower, if she turned on some lights? How much she has to pay the next coming months? You were planning to go that far? Yeah, that's a bit weird. We won't make much progress sticking around here. Alright then. Komagata High School. Excusez-moi. Here we are at Ground Zero, Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that the school's closed. Birds, birds. Are there any birds? No, I don't think so. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, huh? That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if a curse bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled since they don't know about the curses. Well, Richter, that's stupid on your part. I guess you didn't get told about the Paranormal Affairs department. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Yeah, sure, why not? Inquire. Alright, I'll go ask the students about Michio. I'm back, ma'am. So, what did you learn? That school kid sure loved a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Yonoichi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Well, not as dubious as you might think, buddy. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought. Well, you might want to give it a second thought, because honestly, Michio died probably because of Yonouchi, so... But there was one story that caught my attention. Oh? Some believe that Michio's one is the one who killed Mr. Yonouchi. Really? The story's got the 2 pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio was going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mom... didn't he talk to you about this as well? The high school girl was gonna kill him? Are you that dumb? Like, I thought you were a detective. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. Or was it about Hitomi? I'm pretty sure it was not Hitomi. He was probably talking about Michio. Now I get it. Because I was also confused. I also thought he was talking about Hitomi. Because she's still alive. Like, why would a dead girl kill him, you know? And then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay a secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a big-tailed girl in her school uniform was seen around school late last night. Go on. Although numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. But it's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. She's not alive, is she? What the fuck? She's not presumably dead. She's been found dead. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. Why did she have that? That's weird. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. Why? It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, no? Sure. Let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's not possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's home. I can imagine the students are uneasy after learning of the murder. It may do them well to stay home for some time. It's not for fear or of their safety. The police are probably too wrapped up in solving the case to be concerned about the students' mental health. I can see that. Guess it's time to go. Or do I go to the street first? Nah. Near the Shiraishi household. How did it go? I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home, however. No one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. Well, I'm not sure. It's a regular weekday, isn't it? It's not the weekend, or else the girls wouldn't have been trying to go to school. Like, people are probably at their job. It seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. So this is a bit like assuming that she's, that they bailed. Like the family's gone. Where are these birds? I'm supposed to find so many birds, but I can't find any. And it's not like there's that many locations, unless like the birds keep popping up in the same location depending on the scene. That's also gonna be really annoying. It's a bit quieter over here. It is a residential area after all. All these rundown row houses really scream working class, don't they? I'm sorry, Richter Kai, where the fuck do you live? Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Of course they would, with a handsome man like you. Turns out Shirai's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in turn. So far so good? What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow everyone knew his name. So what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. Neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. Okay, so all the nasty rumors that were going around in school were clearly true. Like, she had a shitty new stepdad, and she was also being assaulted by a teacher at school. Like, they weren't that off. I just thought it was like really weird that that they were doing it at the time, because it seemed, okay, who the fuck is back there? That's creepy as hell. I thought it was weird that they were talking about it at first, especially with that happy music going on, but it wasn't that far off. Also, Yako is a terrible fucking friend. She didn't know that was going on at all, and then she was just like, oh, well, fuck these rumors based on nothing. They weren't based on nothing. If there's gonna be a bit of smoke, there's meant to be fire. Okay, these shadows are freaking me out. First it looked like Erio, and now it looks like Hitomi. Neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough, every night the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shiraishi standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. What is it, Michio? That was like chanting for the rite of resurrection to happen? Wouldn't make any... for her dead dad. Yeah, okay. Through this, the Shiraishi standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She would just turn the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. Like, at all, even if the police is being called for it? That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely, and seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. That's a fucked up thing to think. Oh, finally, now that the mom's in a mental hospital and the daughter is dead, it's finally quieted down a bit. It seems that they were still considered outsiders even after 3 years of living here. That's a very, I feel like that's a very Japanese mentality. You can live there your entire life, you'll never be one of us. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. Yeah, great on you, Haruo, for victim blaming Toshiko. It's not like people are like, oh, this guy that looks like he's gonna beat my ass every night? Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna date him. He seems like a good guy. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem to be moved by the story, ma'am. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. I mean, she doesn't really care about the less fortunate, because she thinks of herself as the most unfortunate because she lost her son. Kankichiro Iwai. Oh my god. I take back what I said. I mean, I'm not quick to judge a book by its cover, but Jesus Christ, man. Like, come on. And he's unemployed. How is he gonna help you with the finances? The common-law husband of Michio Shirai's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi, Kankichiro, started coming and going from Shirai's household. Coming from Shirai's household a little over a year ago. It seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. He served in prison? Oh my god. No. Again, no judging a book by its cover, because he is... I don't know. People deserve a second chance. The backstories are getting a bit insane right now. But the Shirai certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it. Okay. Guess it's time to move then, huh? Shirai's were dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part in the kidnapping? Yeah, true. I mean, if one person can blackmail her, I still don't know what the fuck they had on her to blackmail her, but then it's not that difficult for another person to do the same, I assume. Fuck, Michio had it rough. South Verigasi Street. Hiyaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Verigasi Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. Wow, even with the death of their CEO, they're still like, well, work is work. No birds, no birds. Where are all these birds at? First, I need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. And I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around, visit the cafe for some tea perhaps. Okay. To think a small soap making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why director and now chairwoman Natsue Yamamori is also called the Queen. Oh, I was kind of thinking I was gonna see... I only have 4 in total. I was gonna see the Queen, but unfortunately it's just Hihaku Soaps, a chemical producer that ranks 4th largest in the domestic detergent market and 7th largest in the cosmetic market. From its humble beginnings as a small soap factory established after the war in 1946, founder Natsue Yamamori utilized her feminine perspective and a well-timed economic boom to boldly lead the company into new markets. Even as the market grew crowded with the industrialization of Sumida City, the company continued to expand, digging its roots deep into the area. In particular, it established itself as a household name by focusing its branding toward the rapidly expanding convenience store market. Its flagship products now include cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. The company's name, Hihaku, can also refer to kasuri, a type of patterned fabric. Okay. Oh, yes! Oh, I wasn't expecting this. This is the woman you're simping over, dude? Okay. Natsue is the former Natsue Yamamori. Natsue is the former president of Hihaku Soaps. Former, okay. So someone else. Someone else could be the lady he is going for right now. A large chemicals company. Though she retired from her position 2 years ago, she still wields great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities, earning her the nickname the Witch of Hihaku. Wait, what? There have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities? And she's called the Witch of Hihaku. Is this not... like, what? Is she the one that started... is she the mastermind? Prior to the war, Natsue enjoyed working her dream job at a textile factory. Ah, that's why the textile logo, okay. She was forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire during the war, and she was ordered to rework the fabrics she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for her blue-collar work. Witnessing the rise in popularity of Western-style clothing in the post-war period, Natsue left the textile industry. However, a nod to her past can be seen in her company's name, with Hihaku being another name for kasuri, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven with dyed fibers. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied at the textile factory, Natsue saw a business opportunity and set up for her own small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products which quickly gained a good reputation. Avid a shrewd businesswoman, Natsue ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku soaps into a household name. Alright then. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary. That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Is it his mom? Because they do look a little bit alike. Maybe that's why he's so hard working towards this woman. I feel like it could be his mom. And if not, then I'm sorry for the ageism. He could be into I don't know, a gilf. Well, better if I go inside the heart. Yeah, okay. So you want me to move, huh? So an influential person at Hihaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Richter proposed we use money to negotiate for the curse stones, but we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. Okay, you want me to go to a cafe? There's not really any place I could go to, is there? Or I could just check it out a bit more. I'm going to go in. I may be a while, so feel to find somewhere to kill time. Okay. Good luck in there. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. There's no doubt he's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But it doesn't mean he has no connection to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we have a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However... You said... Oh, fuck, I forgot his voice. I should have died. He should have died just so I didn't have to voice him again. You said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your possession. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You are a curse bearer, no? Honestly, this look is the hottest Richter Kai has ever looked. This glare of intent to kill is kind of hot. You're right. We lack time. I'll confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the haunting clappers. I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. Is that so? Is that Mio's teacher then? Because I assumed it was a man. It was kind of bad of me to assume that it was a man, but it could also be this lady. But I kind of thought the person that was Mio's teacher was also going to be in paranormal affairs. Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. Ah, okay, this is why he is so devoted to her. And then I have to assume that this is Mio's teacher. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real-life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyoda, who is gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? Oh my god. So some of them have already been coming back to life then, haven't they? Like, what if this isn't the first time for the Rite of Resurrection? Can the Rite of Resurrection only be used once? It doesn't seem that way, you know? I was under the assumption all this time that the Rite of Resurrection, only one person can use the Rite of Resurrection, but it never stated that. It just meant you had to collect 100% of soul drags. But you could do that also and then do it again, right? Because even if a curse bearer dies, if someone else picks up that stone again, that person becomes a curse bearer as well. So it's kind of like a never-ending cycle of killing people and bringing people back to life. These are curses we're speaking of. Tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The Rite of Resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable actions. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over that curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. The lies. The lies. You don't have 6. Unless he took it from Yoko. He could have taken one from Yoko. But no, what? How do they have 6? 6. Whoa. I cannot rest at ease then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we are on the same page. No, that doesn't make any sense. Wait, he's lying fully because the detective, there's 9 in total. The detective has 2? No, the detective has 3. Hadue has 1. That's already 1 over. And then there's Hitomi that has carrying like 1 or 2, maybe. And then also Yako Sakazaki also is carrying 1. So this is bullshit. I bet he's carrying none. This company has none so far because he's doing a bad job. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now? Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to, but I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume? How prudent of you. I'll oblige. fuck. He really put himself in a nasty spot. And that's how it went. But he can just pretend that somebody else took the stone from him. Like, they can just lie. It's not like this guy has spirit sense and can be like, oh, this guy definitely is still carrying, or oh, she's the one. So they aren't after the ride after all. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. Oh? I believe we're dealing with the master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. Okay, well, he didn't lie. He probably didn't lie about her being a powerful witch. But he did definitely lie about the effects of the curse stones. He may have well made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company is plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with the curse stones. They seem rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul dregs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that too. Is she really that powerful? Would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up as he went, or he's trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever before. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. I doubt that, honestly. We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. By the way, there's one more thing of interest. I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Well, that's Shoko, so that makes sense. Despite that, I have reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiation will go. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay on one step ahead. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Warigasui ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the food-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is quite a lively area, huh? I suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. South Warigasui Street. Warigasui. Partitioning ditch. Refers to a waterway dug down the middle of a road so as to divide it. At the dawn of the Edo period, the Honjo district was little more than a collection of suburban rice farms. As the area became more developed, the South Warigasui was excavated in order to drain rainwater into the Yokojiken River to the east. Though it served the people along and faithfully, it was converted into an underground culvert at the beginning of the Showa era. In the present, no trace of it remains on the surface, but a street that bears its name. Where is my phone? I want to know what culvert means. Or if I'm even saying it correctly. Okay, it was actually not that interesting at all. It was very much... I mean, it might be very interesting to some. It's just not interesting to me. It was mostly just... a culvert is a structure that channels water past an obstacle or to a subterranean waterway. So basically something that water passes through to, to help the... Just like... It's just a structure built for water stuff, you know. Alright, I guess it's time to move. Do I know where? I have no clue, but we'll see. Do we go back to Midoricho Park or Kumokata High School? Midoricho Park it is. Where? This is Midoricho Park. Well, we already did this, so I don't know. Maybe we should just go. I don't know where to go though. This is Komagata High School. I guess there haven't been any developments. So what do we do now? It's important that society provides a safe environment for the benefit of our youth. Some school policies could use some rewriting, especially those handling the students' personal information. That's right. I don't want a student being kidnapped on their way back home ever again. Expect criminals to grow more cunning as time passes. There may be times where the authorities can't keep up. That's where outlaws such as myself come in. What's this about? Actually, just forget I said anything. Yeah, what do you mean, man? It seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Yeah, I feel like most of the things that people are able to do right now is gonna be at night when things are actually happening. I feel like the daytime is so weird right now in this game. Also, where are the fucking birds? He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. Why would they? That's... Are we stuck or something? Did I miss something? How was I supposed to know that I had to come back here? I doubt anyone's still living there. Oh. Oh, so you came here too. What is it? Oh, crazy development. Okay, the detectives and the private investigator. Okay, I wasn't expecting to meet the other people I'm playing to meet like this. It's kind of funny. Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? Alright, weird. Alright. I guess the fancy sushi comes next, huh? Why were they in this area? To look into Michio Shiraishi? With dusk fast approaching, they have no time to waste. With that in mind, Tsutsumi and Ario direct their investigation toward Komagata High School and the Shiraishi residence. Oh, back to the detective music. Where do we go first? I guess I want to go to Komagata High School first. Because they can actually get some information out of this, because they're cops. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, 9 a.m. Komagata High School. Here we are, Komagata High. Classes are suspended for the day, so the students are just kind of wandering around aimlessly. Ideally, we could talk to someone who was involved in the incident. Easier said than done, though. The school gate will stay locked while forensics inspects the scene of the incident. Looks like they're still busy. Let's talk to the person in charge later. Okay. Is there something on my shirt? Don't tell me I stink. You probably do. This place isn't only connected to the case because the students were under Yoshimi's jurisdiction. It's also the site of the fool's procession, and of course where the teacher was killed. Seems like a likely place to find some clues, don't you think? Oh right, speaking of schools. What is it? You said Paranormal Affairs can help us right now. So why don't we get that psychic high schooler you mentioned to help us? A lot of the people involved in this case lead back to this school anyway, so it might make things easier to have them with us. For a guy who questioned me on the legality of working with them, you sure seem eager to exploit underage labor. Hey, who said anything about exploiting them? I just want to give our young experts the opportunity to shine. Why don't you become such a smooth talker? Anyway, I'm afraid I don't know where they are. Wow. I forgot this is the no cell phone area. This is really difficult, huh? Oh, I see. I wonder if there's anyone who could help us scout out the area. Hey. Komagata High's gymnasium also serves as a polling place and evacuation center. A lot of the buildings around here are still made of wood, but this place looks safe and sturdy. The news of the dead teacher has also attracted a fair share of rubberneckers. The atmosphere is kinda tense with this many cops around. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Now. 9 a.m. A perfectly reasonable time for students to be at school, and yet I doubt this will be that simple. Michio Shiraishi's neighborhood then. 9 a.m. Tetsuo Tsutsumi. Near the Shiraishi household. Seems like Michio's house is at the end of this road. We don't want to intimidate them, so maybe I should go alone. Birds. Maybe some birds now. Ah! Yes! Found ya. So basically every scene I've gotta go looking for birds, huh? Number 6. Let's do surrounding first. The houses are really cramped together in these narrow alleyways. Strangers like us walking through definitely stand out. It really feels like old Tokyo. So the Shiraishi household. There's a chance that Michio didn't actually kill herself. It might be for the best that we didn't find her parents. What the fuck do you... Oh, okay. I thought for a second that, he meant, you know, that she's in debt. It's quiet. This place is normally pretty lively, full of people coming and going. but it seems like everyone's decided to stay inside because of the recent incident. Arya is checking the Shiraishi house at the end of the road. The street's real narrow, so two big guys like us would stick out like a pair of sore thumbs. Well, fuck it, I'm going anyway. Alright, I'll go check the house. Arya's off checking the Shiraishi household. I'll just wait till he gets back. Aww. What am I supposed to do in the meantime? Think? Oh. Oh, you're back. No luck, boss. No one home. Doesn't look like it. I'm out for a while, but nobody came to the door. I glanced in the windows, but there was no sign of activity inside either. And I saw about 3 newspapers stuffed into their mailbox. Ari looks kind of disappointed. That's hilarious. That's really not important at all. Okay, I'm gonna try Komagata High School one more time, and then if not, I'm gonna have to suspend, which really sucks. Not that I really know what it means, but I feel like that's kind of giving up. Like I'm missing something. I guess not. Okay, I really have to suspend. That sucks. What was the point of this? I found no new information at all. Alright, I'll just suspend here then, because this is where I meet the other duo. You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume to try again. Pressing the suspend will return you to the story chart. Yeah. Ah, I guess these two fuckers have to be at the high school to help, huh? So I guess I have to end theirs at Komagata High School, and then I can go back to the detectives? Would that work? I don't know. Komagata High School. Okay. Resume. So now they should both be in the same area, wouldn't they? Yes! Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so stupid. Here we are, Komagata High. Let's just suspend it for the day, so the students are just kind of one... Yeah, I already read this. Alright. Huh? That's... Boss, what is it? You want to talk to those girls? I do. Yeah, I do. This is divine intervention. We were brought here for a reason. Come on, Ario. Huh? What? Yeah, you must sound like kind of like a pedophile right now. It's a that's so. Hey, aren't you? You must be that high schooler skirting the child labor laws who I've heard so much about. That's a crazy way to introduce yourself to someone. Oh wait. Say that again. Sorry about that. He's with me. Wait, what? What wasn't it? Okay. Ario is not making any sense right now. Mr. Tsutsumi, if that's how you feel, maybe you should look into improving my working conditions. I prefer not to work for free, to be honest. Don't you worry about that. If you help us out, you can have whatever you want, boss's treat. Wait. Really? Thank you so much.
I've always wanted to go to a fancy sushi place. Ooh, yeah! Like one of those places in Ginza. I've never been. Let's go.
You got ourselves a deal, right, boss? The girls are at our surface. Hold on now. What just happened? I never said I'd... Sushi? Looking forward to it, boss. Wait, since when were you included?
You guys are funny. You should do stand-up.
So, how much have you been able to figure out?
Well, I know what happened around midnight last night. Someone invoked the Feast of Shadows, which boosts the power of curses, then brought forth the 7 mysteries of Hanjo, that allows even those who do not even have the power to cast curses to gather soul dregs for the rite of resurrection. At least that's my hypothesis.
Sounds about right so far. As I'm sure you know, there are actually 9 mysteries and not 7. When the Feast of Shadow was cast, the curse stones appeared before those who wanted the rite of at the locals of the 7 mysteries. We've managed to gather 3 curse stones so far, including the one I got first, the Evergreen Beach.
You got 3 already? Wow. We have the curse stone of the Fool's Procession. Well, Yako, the girl standing behind me, does. That's me! Yako, the girl standing behind me, y'all.
She does? Is she alright? You could take it off your hands.
Well, the Feast of Shadows has no effect during the day, and there's still something I want to find out.
Alright, I'll leave the Fool's Procession with you two then.
You would?
I don't think that's very safe considering she almost died like two or 3 times now.
Thank you. Please keep collecting the other curse stones. I'll be looking for a way to stop the Feast of Shadows.
Okay, got it. That should make things go more smoothly. What about the other curse bearers? Where have you run into any of them?
Well, late last night at school.
You were here last night?
Yes, you see.
Huh. You two were using a spirit board? That's so cool. So that's when you ran into the curse echo. I'm glad you survived the encounter.
Somehow we managed to get away without accidentally setting it off. The curse echo we saw took the shape of a woman missing an arm and a leg.
What? A woman missing an arm and a leg? That's... Fuck, I don't know. I don't know, man. Come on, you can't expect me to remember all of the 7 of the mysteries. There's 9. Which in itself is fucking ridiculous. What is this? Ah, the mockingbirds. Definitely not this one. Definitely not that one. Beckoning of light. Oh, I don't have information on this one. I haven't met this one yet. This one is with darkness. Ah, but it looks like a lady. While walking along the road near Hoonji at night, one might spot a hazy lantern light up ahead, despite there being no one around. However, following it will cause it to go out suddenly when getting nearer. But just when one fears the darkness might swallow them up, another light will appear further ahead, as if guiding the... This is the one that Shoko was attacked by in the first video, but also the one that attacked Yako in school. So I'm gonna guess that the janitor Ashimiya probably has the beckoning light. It's definitely hunting clappers. Evergreen Beach, definitely not. Taiko of Tsugaru. I mean, this one has nothing to do with a woman, so the one-sided reed. Oh yeah, that looks like the one-sided reed. Yeah, you already see a woman getting her arm getting cut off. There was once an infamous rogue by the name of Tomezo who fell for a woman named Okoma. Tomezo persistently chased after Okoma, attempting to win her heart over and over again, but she rejected his advances each time. Enraged by her indifference to him, Tomezo brought a dagger to a canal near Ryogoku Bridge and attacked Okoma. He cut the arm and leg off on one side of her body and threw them into the canal. Ever since then, the canal reeds growing along that canal have only sprouted leaves on one side. That's really dark. Why is a lot of the curses are just about fucking incels and simps? It's a bit weird. The one-sided reed. The one-sided reed. This is bad. Yeah, that's a serial killer. Huh? What's so bad about that one? You idiot! Think! The curse bearer of the one-sided reed is Fumichika Nejima. Fumichika Nejima. He admitted it himself. That's his curse. Oh, that's right. Wait, but if that's the case... Nejima might have been here last night. What? I mean, it's possible he was lying to us, but... What? Who's Nejima? Oh, just a serial killer that was quite busy the last 20 years ago, you know. Oh, I can also talk to Yako. I can inspect Yako. So this is Yako Sakazaki. She was with Mio. Could she be a friend? Did Mio finally made a friend? Oh, that is so cute. He was worried about her, like, making friends. If she did, it would be good. It would do this old man's heart good. Oh, that's so sweet. But I better not say that out loud. Don't want to make her look bad. Okay. Yo, what the fuck? Why? Oh, they're just inspecting, I assume. I gotta check out for these birds, man. Any birds around? I guess not.
What's that rope all about?
It indicates where Yonoichi's body was found. They've moved his body, but this way we still have an idea of how it was found.
Yikes, that's a little gross. You can even see how his arms and legs are all... Ugh.
Cool it, Ario. You're scaring her. This kind of stuff's a little much for a kid. Hey, I'm pretty sure she only asked because you were staring at it so intently. Alright, that's enough. Mio, what do you think?
I knew it the second I looked at the scene. You're right, traces of a curse still linger here.
I figured as much. Does that mean Yonoichi was killed by one of the curses of the 7 mysteries? Yes.
Yes, a strong curse like that always leaves behind a trace.
I mean, it's most definitely Fumichika Nejima then, huh? Is he going around dressed as Michio?
Wow, Mio, you're so calm. Are you used to this kind of thing? I wouldn't say I'm used to it. It just comes with experience, I guess.
No. I've heard some stories about you. Didn't you investigate a gruesome scene where someone had been killed by a paranormal attack without even breaking a sweat?
Stop it, Mr. Tsutsumi. She's going to get the wrong idea. Whoa, that's amazing. Mio, you're a professional. You think? Totally. You're cool even in the face of death. That's awesome. When you put it like that, I'm not sure how awesome it is.
So a curse was used here, which means the curse bearer must have been on the scene too. How many times can I click this? Okay, I guess I have to come back to this later. This is one hell of a coincidence, huh? That this random girl you know is already involved with the case. Wouldn't call it coincidence, but okay. Forensics is still investigating the area. I didn't really want to bring these kids to a place like this, but there were too many onlookers outside for us to speak comfortably. Besides, it would be good to have Mio look around the scene too. So I guess to continue the other storyline, I have to make Haruwe and Kai, Richter Kai, go to Michio's residence and then have these fuckers also go there. Mio Kurosuzu. She's like a disciple of the Paranormal Affairs chief. I've heard that she helps out with investigations free of charge under the guise of training. Although she's my old boss's protege, she helped me out plenty while I was in Paranormal Affairs. She may look meek, but she's got a strong spirit sense, sharp instincts and courage, plus quite the brain to back it all up. That said, I can't help but think there's some kind of darkness following her around.
Huh? You want to talk to me? You'd probably be better off asking Mio.
Well, fair, I guess. About Fumichika Nejima. So, Nejima's trying to take advantage of the Feast of Shadows for his own nefarious purposes. Yeah, he's coming for you, dude.
Huh? He said he's going to massacre the city at sundown today? And he's trying to get to your daughter too?
I mean, if he's massacring the town, I'm assuming the daughter is also involved, huh? That's why we've been trying to find him. But to no avail. Honestly, this information has been the most useful we've gotten so far. So just to be sure, could you tell me who else was at the school last night?
Well, as far as we know, there was us, Mr. Yono Uchi, and one of our classmates, Hitomi. Don't forget old man Ashimiya.
Wait, Hitomi? Do you mean Hitomi Okuda? Second year student?
Well, yes. Why?
Boss. So she was here last night.
I saw Hitomi earlier though, and she didn't seem like a curse bearer to me.
You did? Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Would you mind if we asked you a few questions about that?
Hitomi said she didn't want to talk to the police because she was afraid she'd become a suspect. So I can't tell you anything unless you swear you won't drag her into this.
Ah, I see. Don't worry, this is about a different matter.
A different matter? You mean about the police officer, Mr. Yoshimi?
You know about that?
Did Hitomi say something about him? Yes, she did, actually.
Back to the police officer music. About Hitomi Okuda.
Hitomi did say that Mr. Yoshimi entrusted her with something.
He did? What was it? Yoshimi gave her a talisman.
Yes, apparently he also asked her to look for another one, just like it, one that Michio had.
What kind of talisman could they be, boss? Doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, most definitely is a curse stone, isn't it? But if Yoshimi was talking about him, with his dying breath, they must have been pretty important.
Did they find a talisman on Michio where her body was found?
I'll check. But if they did, Yoshimi would have had plenty of time to retrieve it before he died.
Right.
Would you consider giving us Hitomi's contact information? I'd like to talk to her about this talisman.
I'm not sure. She never opened up to anyone except Mr. Yoshimi.
I'm no good, huh? I was friends with Yoshimi, though.
You don't seem like too bad of a guy. Not all that scary for a cop. But I doubt that'll be enough for her. She really doesn't want to end up becoming a suspect. To be honest, she was even a bit wary of us.
Well then. Do you think she'll talk to Yoshimi's fiancé? Haven't they met before?
Oh, they have. She told us about that. Yes, she might be willing to talk to her.
Alright, then we better find her fast.
You haven't been able to reach her? That's a little worrying. If we're talking about people who were at school last night, there was one more person though I'm not too clear on the details.
There was someone else?
Apparently Hitomi actually saw Mr. Yonoichi getting cursed and killed last night.
What? Talk about some vital information. Yeah, even if she's not a suspect, she should go to the police with this information. This seems like kind of important, you know?
What she said happened was...
Michio was the one who killed Mr. Yonouchi? Are you sure it was really Michio that she saw?
Well, that's what she told me. I wasn't there.
That must mean there was another curse bearer here last night. Yonoichi was killed by a curse, so someone had to have been there, whether it was Michio or not. Damn, boss. Do you think it really could have been Michio's ghost? I mean, based on what we've heard, she does have plenty of reasons to be vengeful. Calm down. Just because the paranormal exists doesn't mean just anything is possible. It's still possible that Nejima was behind Jonoichi's death. Dressed up as a little schoolgirl. But what about Oh. Fuck, that's Yako.
But what about Hitomi's story?
Mayu Chozawa. We'll let you know as soon as we manage to contact her.
Okay. I'd be willing to give Hitomi's contact information to her. Oh, right. One more thing. Hitomi told me that Mr. Yoshimi gave her instructions in the event that something happened to him. He told her to give the talisman to Mr. Nakagoshi from the police headquarters.
What? So it was a Nakagoshi case? Why would Yoshimi tell her that?
Could you check on that?
I will, but... Well, I don't know if they'll pick up when I call. Is he with the Paranormal Affairs Bureau? Well, yes, Nakagoshi's the chief, but he's almost never in, so I don't really know the guy. To be honest, I'm not even sure if he exists, or if he's just a figurehead. I've never spoken to him myself. All of Paranormal Affairs cases are referred to as Nakagoshi cases. Jeez, what's up with that?
That amulet Hitomi was looking for may be the missing puzzle piece to this mystery.
About this janitor, Ashimiya was it? How old is he? Do you know how long he's worked here?
Huh? Why are you so interested in him all of a sudden? I only just transferred to this school though, so I have no idea. He's around 50 years old. He came to our school about half a year ago. No one knows what he did before, so there are all kinds of rumors about him.
I see. Thanks. I think I'm starting to get a better picture of all this.
Huh?
Listen up. It's not uncommon for former prisoners to find work under an alias after their release. Fuck, no. My worst nightmare is coming true. I voiced, oh man, Fumichika Nejima and Ashimi are the same person. It's gonna suck, cause whose voice am I gonna pick then? Maybe, yeah, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. The notoriety attached to their former name can get in the way of proper rehabilitation, you see.
What are you... No way.
Here you'll have the officers apprehend the janitor. He worked the night shift, so he might still be in the overnight room. Yes, right away. Boss, bad news. Apparently the room's been empty all morning. Sounds like they'd been looking to question Ashimiya too, but couldn't find him anywhere.
No.
That all but confirms it. Just one more thing to check. Are there any photos of this Ashimiya?
The old man seriously hated getting his picture taken. He'd always avoid it.
Ario, call an urgent search for Makoto Ashimiya. We can't let him get away. Yes, sir. I'll contact HQ right away.
Oh my, I didn't expect this at all. Yeah, how could that old man have been some horrible criminal mastermind? I can't believe it. And a curse bearer on top of that. To think he was so close to us this whole time. Oh, it gives me chills.
A guy like that really shouldn't have been allowed to work at a high school. Let's hope it isn't already too late.
Oh, I may have shown Ashimiya my curse stone last night.
What? I don't like this one bit. Nejima did say he wasn't specifically targeting curse bearers, but
I'm glad nothing happened to you. Wait, but then, could it have been Old Man Ashimiya who attacked you in the hallway? I almost told him that you were still in the building too. What? You did? Yikes, good thing I didn't say anything.
You might have gotten very lucky there, kid.
This is too much. I hope they find him soon. Come on, long arm of the law. Help us.
About the mastermind behind the Feast of Shadows.
To put a stop to the Feast of Shadows, it would help if I knew more about how the curses of these 7 mysteries first came about.
In that case, we're probably best off talking to that crabby researcher guy.
You missed Mr. Araishi? I would very much like to talk to him.
Ah, right. He's a teacher here too, isn't he? You know, you would know him already. You might be more inclined to talk if it's one of his students doing the asking. Actually, he probably would not, because he fucking hates students and he's looking down on all of the students, just like any other teacher at the school. They fucking hate the students.
Do you know where he is?
I do. We tried to talk to him, but he refused to cooperate. But you two should give it a try. He's at his usual cafe working on his papers.
The cafe. Oh, Kurikikyo Cafe in Kamezawa? Thanks. We'll head over there now. School rules say we're not allowed to go at cafes though.
It's not a school day, babe. Just go. What the fuck? Don't worry about it. I'll allow it.
Thank you.
Huh? That's all it takes? Is that all we had to talk about?
There must be a mastermind behind everything. Someone who orchestrated all this for a reason. I want to find out why. What was that thing you mentioned about Michio earlier? Something about a grudge? Did you know anything about her?
What's your relation?
I'm her friend. I was actually planning to resurrect her at first.
Ah, I see. We gained quite a lot of information from you two. It's only fair we share as well. Tell her, Ario. Alright. Keep in mind that this is just a theory, though.
Okay.
After re-examining the crime scene, Yoshimi concluded that Michio's death wasn't a suicide, but a vehicular collision.
Wait, what? An accident?
You know it's an accident, babe. You just didn't know what kind of accident. Being hit by a speeding truck or van would have resulted in similar injuries. The investigation was ordered by Yoshimi, so it seems he had his doubts about it being a suicide.
What? A van? Speeding? Yako, what's wrong? Are you okay?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why does it seem like Yako just got killed? No, wait, you're going too fast.
A van? There's a young man in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat, a woman. Yako.
Did she just slap her?
Yes. Wait, was I
knew it. Like, the curse stones absorb the ones that have been killed by that curse stone. But no, that doesn't make sense because this just seemed like it has nothing to do with curse stone. She just got hit by a car. Wait, did Michio get hit by her own parents? That's fucked up.
Are you back now? How do you feel? You're covered in sweat. Yeah, I'm okay, I think. Sorry, I went a little crazy over there.
It's no problem, as long as you're okay. That was quite a surprise, though.
Yoshimi talked to you about Michio, didn't she?
Well, he didn't give me any specifics, if you were wondering about that. So I don't know what was truly on Michio's mind either.
Right.
Do you have any idea why Yonoichi was so scared of Michio?
Well, about that, I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but she got raped by this guy.
I see. Well, I have expected it was something like that. Thank you for telling me.
Sorry, it's hard to explain.
I wonder what he got his hands on to be able to blackmail her like that.
Michio, what happened?
It's kind of obvious what happened there, huh? Anything else? It's usually easier to let Aries do the talking when it comes to young people, but we only have a day. It would be quicker if I take the reins this time. But he did manage to win them over with the promise of food. Let's see how this plays out. Oh yeah, scene of the crime. Hey boss, forensics is calling. I'll go see what they have to say. Sure, thanks. Boss, they found this on the ground, a short distance away from the scene. What is that? A ribbon? Yeah, the kind you use to tie up your hair.
What? I've seen that ribbon before.
You have? Go on then.
That's the ribbon that Michio always used to wear.
What? I love that, so it's like his what the fuck stance is just so funny to me. Doesn't that mean that Michio was here? Are you sure?
Definitely. I have the same one at home. We bought them together. That has to be hers.
Then did she come back to life somehow? Rite of resurrection, baby. But how? Maybe the rite of resurrection is real. Ever thought of that?
If I was Michio and I came back to life, where would I go?
That's the question. She got her revenge on Yonoichi, but she may have more revenge to dish out. Is there anyone else she'd have a grudge? That's why the parents ran away, and that's why they're gonna go look into them and see fucking Kai. She'd have a grudge against? Well, what about the guy who killed her in the collision?
If she really did come back to life, then it's terribly sad that she's spending her new chance at life like this. Being obsessed with revenge is such a tragic way to live.
Yako's like, man, I do the fucking same. She's not impressed.
I'm afraid that's all we can tell you.
Don't worry, you were a big help. Thank you. We should start our search for Nejima and Mayu Chozawa. It might be worth it to check Michio's house as well, just in case. Let's use the school as our base of operation if anything happens. Go to one of the officers hanging around here.
Got it. Thank you and good luck. We'll go talk to Mr. Araishi about a way to lift his curse.
Alright, boss. Let's get going whenever you're ready. Hell yeah! Oh, I guess I don't have to do it for these fuckers. Dead or alive. How do I and Richter visit Michio's home? Having determined her to be a key player in the unresolved kidnapping case from a year before, as a complicated story begins to unravel, they encounter two men. Oh, but Kai knows them all too well. I mean, at least. How do I Shigema 10 a.m.? I like this new music. Near the Shiraishi household. Ma'am, allow me to introduce one of our country's most elite detectives. The name's Jun Ario. I'd hardly call myself a lead, but either way, it's nice to meet you. Fuck, I love Ario. This here is the brilliant Chief Inspector Tsutsumi. And yes, he's just as rough and tumble as he looks. Somehow I really don't know if you're complimenting or putting me down.
So you two are detectives.
This is my client, Mrs. Haruo Shigima. Her father's a big deal in the police himself, so remember to mind your manners.
Big wig named Shigima? Boss, you know of this guy?
Shit, I've heard the name. But you know I don't keep track of who's who in the upper echelons.
There's no need to worry. I am my own person after all, and my father has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, did you hear that, boss? Looks like you're getting off easy again this time.
Don't make it sound like I'm involved in some shady business. It ain't like that.
You both seem rather jovial despite being detectives. How rare. All the police officers I've met have always been so dull.
Well, you won't find any dull cops here. We'll round up all your criminals with a smile. That's our motto.
How lovely. Keep it up.
Just hold on 1 second. This is the first time I'm hearing of that. Well, you're right about them not being your typical detectives. I'm gonna assume I'm not gonna find another sticker here. Oh, hell yeah I am. Nice. Damn, there was one here. Lucky. That's number 12. The Royal Kingpin Queen.
Ah, that's so.
I love how she's so uninterested in it, but Richter Kai loves it. Okay then. So I've got 6 in total, huh?
I guess knowing how to deal with cops is also part of an investigator's job.
Not quite. The two of us used to be comrades is all.
Comrades?
That's right. Richter used to be part of the police force himself. He quit a few years ago to go solo.
Is that so?
You should give it a try, Ariel. There's more freedom in working as a private investigator. I can't say much for the quality of life, though. It's been 2 years, right? I hadn't heard of you since you quit. I didn't think your business would last, but here you are. You sure don't want to return to the force? We take you back with open arms. What? To sit on my ass and watch the birds fly? I'll take a pass. I don't belong in that world.
Come on, Richter. We need your talent. The public needs you.
Nah, you don't. This is my calling. The police will manage just fine without me. I'll keep on tying up all your loose ends, saving the little birdies you abandoned. Alright. What brings you here, Richter? You on a case? That's right. I'm picking up the police's slack. I trust you remember the kidnapping and murder case from last year? Oh, I remember now. You're that Haruo Shigima from that kidnapping case. Huh? Did I miss something? Don't be an idiot. It was the case where Munesada Shigima's grandson was kidnapped. Which must have been your son, ma'am. Indeed. The story was suppressed by the news. In the end, it was considered a huge failure on the police department's part. Most of the investigation was conducted in secret. And unfortunately, the department is unwilling to reopen the case. Any investigation carried out afterwards turned up nothing at all, which is why I'm now on the job. So they never caught the culprit, huh? That's rough. That's rough, buddy. So your findings have brought you to this place then? That's right. An individual connected to the case used to live around here. Used to? That's right. As of last week, they're deceased. We'd hoped to talk to the family. No one was home when I checked last time, so we figured we'd try again. Interesting. Sure doesn't look good on the police to be mishandling cases like these. If there really was a culprit, it should be our responsibility to bring them to justice.
Well, I do consider the police my people. So you consider the blame to be shared. You've got a stern side as well, I see.
By the way, ma'am, this might be sudden, but there's something I'd like to confirm with you.
And that is?
Do you happen to know anything about the 7 mysteries of Hanzhou? Sorry, Chief, but that's hardly... With all due respect, investigator. I think my question was addressed to the lady. If you insist. What do you say, ma'am? Can you tell us anything? What's the difference between the ... and I don't know much? Honestly, I don't know much.
I've heard of the 7 mysteries, but this talk of curses eludes me.
Is that so? Well, I'm sorry for the intrusion.
A young and energetic detective. He seems to have a strong sense of justice. If my son had the chance to grow older, perhaps he would have become an officer just like him.
Stop projecting every good guy as your son, please. It's a bit unhinged.
It seems like he's got a lot of experience working the streets. Most of the officers I know are the bureaucratic desk jockey types. The contrast is rather striking.
Sure doesn't look good on the police. Oh, okay. Well, what else do we have to do here then? Surroundings.
I thought we might might cause trouble standing in the middle of the street talking like this, but so far we haven't drawn attention. Then again, that might just be because nobody wants to get involved with the case. I can't believe you were actually part of the police force once.
There's a story behind everything, ma'am. I don't regret my time on the force. I wouldn't have the connections I have today without it. Okay. Sure. Oh yeah, okay, well. Come to think of it, I heard some things about this area last night. Something about a strange yet conspicuous man dressed in white loitering around.
Wait a second.
I assume they were talking about you, investigator. Well, I won't argue that I'm strange and conspicuously dressed in white. And as it turns out, I was out here last night to conduct my investigation. Did you run into anything strange or out of the ordinary? Out of the ordinary, huh? I guess I did observe a few suspicious characters. You were asking about the curses just now. Why would a public servant be interested in a cult?
Boss, Richter's a smart man. He can help us if we tell him what we know.
I can't promise I'll be of any help to you, but I'm interested in hearing what you got to say. Something's happening in Hanzhou, isn't there? It must be something big if they've got you head office guys on it. Well, I guess it's alright. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Thank you, boss.
Listen closely to what we're about to say, Richter. Huh. So by using curses to commit murders, these people collect soul dregs to perform the rite of resurrection. And these curse stones are somehow connected to the 7 mysteries of Hanzhou. It's a tough story to swallow, but I don't see a reason to doubt you either. We figure the strange occurrences happening around here recently are connected to these curses. To get this situation under control, we've been searching for the curse bearers to confiscate their curse stones. Do you have any information that might help us? That's tough. Never expected curses and all and other mumbo jumbo to play into this all. But if we're talking shady characters, there was this middle-aged fellow I saw on South Warigasu Street. He had an average build, He was anxious, like he was searching for prey.
Boss, what do you think?
Well, consider the location, it could have been Hideki Araishi. We already got his curse stone. Impressive. You two are working quick. Did you see anything else? Not that I can remember. That's a shame. Oh yeah, fuck, he's got the curse stone that allow him to tell. Actually, no, now that I think about it, maybe he doesn't work because it's not nighttime. It's good for Richter that it's daytime, or else he'd be able to swat out that lie in a second. Back to the chairs. If you see any characters who look they might be carrying a curse stone, it'd be a huge help if you let us know. Absolutely. I'll let you know if you find anything. Richter, perhaps you could lend a hand on our case too. There's a number of people we can track, and finding missing persons happen to be your specialty, no? I hate to disappoint you, but I'm busy enough with this case. The fate of my clients is what keeps me afloat. I have to prioritize requests by the order in which they come. I see. Well, can't say that's not fair. What do you need a private investigator for anyway? The cops should have plenty of bright folks to throw at the job. True, but this isn't an ordinary case we're dealing with here. Huh?
By the way, that reminds me, Richter.
Yes?
You said the person who used to live here died last week. You wouldn't be referring to Michio Shiraishi by chance?
You knew? I thought so. I mean, there's only one kid that killed himself last week, guys. Come on, it's not that difficult to find out. This is not detective work.
It seems like we're here for the same reason then.
Seriously. Michio was involved with curses and magic? Strictly speaking, the curse part isn't our concern. We're looking into Yoshimi's case. Yoshimi. Alright, Hajime Yoshimi's. That's right, he died on a job. I'm sure you've heard of it. I heard. It was the most unfortunate loss. So there's a connection between Hajime Yoshimi of the juvenile division and Michio. Well, hold on. Let's focus on Michio for a second. You think she had something to do with the kidnapping? Talk about unforeseen developments. Exchanging information should prove mutually beneficial. I'll tell you what I know, but in turn, I want the full scoop on your findings concerning Michio. Sure. To tell you the truth... What? You believe Michio's ghost is the one who killed Mr. Yonouchi? So he wasn't just mumbling nonsense. I mean, we haven't fully confirmed anything yet. But the testimonies we've heard and the evidence we've found point in that direction. Testimony? You mean from those, psychic high schoolers? Didn't they also say there was a chance Michio hadn't killed herself? Wait, if that's true then... Did you figure something out? What? Kankichiro Iwai? Huh? Kankichiro Iwai, he'll be the next victim. We have to open the door to the Shiraishi house. We need to look inside. Hey, what's gotten into you? Boss. I'm sure the landlord would give us the key if we asked. Screw that. You know how long that could take? We can ask for permission later. This guy. I mean, he's not a cop anymore, but they could arrest him for this. Richter? Hey, Richter, calm down. We can't just... But he can. He doesn't have to follow your protocol. He's a private investigator extraordinaire. Take that, you shitty door. That's how you do it. I mean, they're probably like quite weak doors anyway. Richter, get a hold of yourself. I see you're still the same as always. Everyone, come quick, look at this. He's dead. Fuck, he's dead. Fuck, what the fuck is this? Dude, what the fuck? Whoa. What's up with this room? Boss, there's a dead body in here. Whoa. Could that be Michio's dad? Nah, he's her stepdad at best. If dead, it's got to be the body of Kankichiro Iwai. There's no doubt about it. This man's a goner. He's gotten real messed up. Looks like he's been like this for a while. I'd say it happened last night. Ario, did you find Jonouchi's body in the same state? Now that you mention it. So it had to be Fumichika again. It looked as though Kohei Yonoichi had died from a number of heavy blows. What are you suggesting, investigator? It was Michio Shiraishi. She's alive. She used the power of the curse to get back at the man who ruined her life. That's ridiculous. You're suggesting she actually revived? It's gotta be dead, and if she's alive, then... Then what? My apologies for interrupting. I know we've just arrived at an interesting plot point. Yeah, we did. Why the fuck did you have to cut it off? Do you really think a dead girl is going around taking revenge from beyond the grave? Consider this. What if Michio Shiraishi never died? But seeing as you've come this far, I'm sure you already know the truth, don't you? And so, I would have you answer me a question. Where in Honjo was Michio Shiraishi at the hour of 8 o'clock this morning? The fucking morgue, I hope. Isn't she supposed to be dead? But okay, this doesn't make any sense. If she's found dead by the police, she should be in a morgue. She should have been like buried and everything. I mean, it has been a week. Maybe she's not buried yet. Either way, it's a bit weird that the police considers her dead and she's not. You know, and I think they do her the pleasure of checking her pulse before bringing her to the morgue for investigation. Okay, 8 a.m. This morning. Fuck, how should I know? I know I should probably deduce this by, I don't know, fucking detective skills or something. I don't have any of those. I don't fucking know where she should be. I could say she was just at home. She wouldn't be at school. It would be a bit weird. I wouldn't have any reason for her to be at the Sumida River or Komagata Bridge. The candy shop is a bit weird as well. Midoricho Park would be weird considering there's people frolicking around, especially Richter Kai and Harue. Former Yasuda Gardens, I don't know. So far there's not really been any connection between her and the Yasuda Gardens, so... Also not the Ryogoku Bridge. Marigasu Street is where the Hiyaku Soaps thing is. Shigima Residence. Fuck. And I mean, it would make sense if we knew when Kankichiro was killed, because then we'd be like, oh, well, like, he was killed in that morning, so she must have been there, you know? Honji Bridge. Why the fuck? Kinshibori Park. Oh, again, why the fuck? Shigima Residence. Definitely not Shigima Residence. That would be weird as hell. I'm just gonna say her home. I don't know, man. Just give it to me straight. I see. So that's what you think. It's wrong, I know. Let's take a moment to reconsider what you know and choose again, shall we? No, I'm gonna have to go... Fuck. This is really annoying. Man, I don't know. Like, am I gonna have to press all of these until I get it right? Kinshibori Park. Let's take... Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just randomly pick things then. Man, I don't know. Well, just... Can't you just be like, okay, I give up. Let's give you the answer or something. Sumida River. Oh, the school, because her thing was found there, but it was found after killing. Like, why would she be there in the morning? Okay, the shop, because her friend lives there. I see. Oh, fuck. I see. Very well. Congratulations. You are correct. You got it wrong 6 times. Well, it's a trivial matter. Oh, it's really embarrassing that he was counting that. It may have been easier to reach that conclusion had you considered the cause of death. Well, if you keep changing the location's name, how am I've just forgot. I forgot that that's where she died, okay? Come on. Let's get back to the story then, shall we? I've taken up enough of your time. What? So you really think Michio Shiraishi is alive? Just think it through, and it all becomes obvious. It tracks, but... do you really think that girl could have managed all of this? First of all, Ario, go report this to HQ. Understood. I'll get right on it. On it right away. I'll start investigating this place. It sure isn't lacking in stuff that needs looking at. There's a bunch of photos of the same person pasted on the wall over there. Huh? Whoa now, hold on. These photos. These are all Fumichika Nejima. Gross. Really? Come to think of it, he was in the papers a lot back in the day. Oh, there's even more pasted up over there. These are all cutouts from newspapers and magazines about the Nejima murders. I don't get it. Why the weirdo shrine? Let's keep looking around. I wanna see a bird. I wanna see it fly away. The sliding door leads to the kitchen. It barely fits the frame. Okay, that wasn't really important. Old books. There are old books scattered around everywhere. I wonder what they're about. Many of them are written in a foreign language. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. There are candles and stones with inscriptions placed all over. Are these tools for some ritual? I mean, it would have been great to have Mio here with us right now. Hey, don't touch anything, you hear? Ah, that's right. Considering this is a murder scene, we ought to leave everything as it is. All of this can be used as evidence. If anyone besides forensic toys with it, it'll cause trouble down the road. Look at these. Pictures of Fumichika Nejima cut out from newspapers and magazines. Whoever put these up was obsessed. I wonder what their intent was. You think the Shiraishis are somehow connected to Nejima's case? Perhaps they did this as to not forget a crutch or something. It's crazy to think Nejima might be involved in all this too. Do you think he might have anything to do with the body here? Maybe. The man's already out on parole. He's a curse bearer with a curse stone now. He announced that from sundown today he'll be going on a killing spree. Oh dear. There's an emergency search underway as we speak, but no one's yet to manage to get a hold of the bastard. So he hasn't changed his ways. It doesn't bode well. To tell you the truth, the lady here isn't completely unconnected from the Nejima murders either. You don't say. That's right. We talked about it last night. 20 years ago, I found a hand in Samita River that brought the incident to light. You don't say. You were the kid from back then? You were really brave. You did a great deed. Were you the detective I spoke with? I had no idea. So you two have met before. Fancy that. I've been worried that Fumichika Nejima might bear resentment towards you, ma'am. You might be right. Unfortunately, that asshole's quite a resentful type. Oh dear. That asshole, I wonder who put the ideas into his head. And now he's got the one-sided read too. He's threatening to massacre the people of Hanzhou at sundown. Seriously? On top of that, he's been itching to get revenge on me as well. Of all things, the man's gone and threatened to kill my daughter. Damn, that's quite the threat. Certainly you can afford to stay put here. The fucker wants to get us all antsy. When I finally get to arresting him, it'll be with a cool head. Not gonna give him the pleasure, huh? Well, if Iwai and Fumichika Nejima have anything to do with each other, then this room might hold a clue to Nejima's location. Let's hope so. This drawer is really old. Chief Inspector, do you mind if I look inside? Huh? I mean, in normal cases, only the police would be allowed to touch those things, right? Right. Ario isn't here, so let me take a look at it. There's just clothes in here, not much variety either. Can't say they were big spenders. Well, I was hoping to find a kind of talisman here, but I guess we're not so lucky. I see. Thank you anyway. It's off-putting to look at, but I can't help but wonder what in the world this is. They're magic runes. They're used in Western black magic rituals. Most of the time, they're useless imitations, though. I wouldn't get too excited about it. Oh my. Who knew the Chief Inspector was such an expert on the occult? I just chanced upon that information. That girl with the spirit sense we mentioned, she's pretty informed on the subject. Someone was attempting to perform Western black magic in this place. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Of course, the person in question was dead. Serious about it all. Oh, that's serious about it all. Western black magic. While magic is often classed as a branch of mysticism, or may variously refer to the likes of witchcraft or astrology, here it refers specifically to Western black magic. In the Middle Ages, the line between science and magic was blurred, with the pursuit of the supernatural considered a legitimate academic discipline. Astrology was regarded akin to astronomy, while alchemy was accepted as scientific fact and would eventually evolve into what is known today as chemistry. One discipline, however, was considered wicked and shunned accordingly: black magic, the practice of using magical knowledge to strike a bargain with demons. In contrast to the socially acceptable subjects studied by the intelligentsia, black magic was most prolific among the lower classes. It was the common people who suffered most from the ills of the day, war, famine, and sickness, which perhaps led them to seek aid from unholy powers. As hearsay, these rituals and spells were nowhere to be found in orthodox modes of teaching, but instead were recorded in tomes of dubious credibility. Looks like this thing spread around here have been like this for a while now. This ritual or whatever was something he attempted up to recently. Plenty of neighbors mentioned having heard strange mantra-like noises coming from here during the night. You think Iwai was the one chanting? Hard to say. Could have been one of the Shirashis as well. Yeah, this guy looked like a fucking, like, kind of a bit like a gangster. I can't imagine him going chanting magical black magic curses. If you look through these books in the back, we might learn whatever it is they were trying to do. It's the same man in every picture. Is that Fumichika Nejima? We've said it about 3 times now, dude. It obviously is. Wow, this is quite a spectacle. I don't think I'll ever manage to erase this from my mind. Don't worry, Richter. You're quite a spectacle yourself. Do you mean to compare me with the likes of a bizarre criminal? Yeah, that was kind of rude. That was really rude. The person who put all these photos up must have been obsessed with Nejima. They might have had some relation to Nejima's victims, or perhaps it was the opposite. The opposite? What if it wasn't loathing, but admiration? But then... These aren't just cut from publication. They even snapped a number of shots of their own. They must have admired him. Why else would they have collected so many pictures? Whatever the case, it's certain they were obsessed. It'll be a pain to look through all of these. Let's save them for later and continue to look around. Okay, well, there's not much to look around. Well, I guess the corpse. I was gonna leave it for last, but there's nothing around to confirm his identity. But by the looks of him, I'd say he's Kankichiro Iwai. You've seen him before? I heard he had a criminal record, so I assumed he wouldn't have held a respectable occupation.
Is this what a curse does to a person?
Ma'am, it'd be better not to look so closely.
It's amazing.
Bitch, the fuck? You're trying to look sus right now? What the fuck? You're trying to look to incriminate yourself at the moment? Because you certainly look sus as hell right now. You're starting to look like someone who's ready to kill someone with a curse on yourself. And they don't even know that yet, that you own one. So keep your mouth shut. Cruel is what it is. What do you say, Chief? Would you let me look through it if I wear gloves? Well, it's not like I'm any help with foreign languages. Go ahead. Thank you. Huh? Seems to be a book on Western black magic. The same runes are written here alongside detailed descriptions of the procedures. I suppose you'd call these grimoires. It's all a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, though. You think this Iwai guy was studying them? Perhaps to perform some kind of ritual? There are a bunch of handwritten notes beside the grimoires. Whoever it was, they were serious about this. Iwai doesn't look the type to be into this stuff, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Okay, yeah, fair, Richter, you got me there.
But why would he be studying black magic?
According to the materials, this here rune is for the restoration of youth. Perhaps he was trying to become young again. This over here seems to be black magic, related to resurrection. Each one of these spells requires a human sacrifice. Talk about dangerous.
Resurrection? Like the rite?
Oh fuck, this woman is really like, well fuck, didn't have to collect all these soul dregs. I guess I just could have done this whole black magic circle shit. And just sacrificed my husband or something. I guess no matter what part of the world, people will turn to the occult for similar reasons. I guess it's Michio that got revived, huh? But I doubt it'd be Kankichiro that did that. I think he was just a sacrifice in reviving Michio. Could it have been her mom? But then what's with the whole Nejima obsession? What is it? This looks like a journal. It's probably Iwai's. A journal? His writing is surprisingly thorough. It's almost as if it... Oh, Jesus, that's freaked me the fuck out. It's almost as if he was writing a report for someone. Oh, wow. Now this is something. What is it? What did he write? This is quite the find. Let me give you a summary. So this Kankichiro Iwai fellow, he'd been researching for a spell to restore you for years.
So he was into black magic from the start.
He believed if he could learn to successfully perform the spell, he could then use it to earn a fortune. To tell you the truth, it seems he was already getting funded after he acquired this grimoire. You don't say. This is starting to sound kind of familiar. But first, let's find out how he got his hands on this grimoire. Seems that Nejima told him where he could obtain the book when they were both in prison. Ah. What? That's nearly too much of a coincidence. Likely not coincidence. It seems like Iwai took an interest in Nejima murders after it made the news. He admired him rather passionately. You might even say he worshipped the man. Worship? Nejima of all people? This was a time when students were itching to rebel. Anyone who did something to shake the world was bound to gather admirers. EY had been collecting these photos ever since that time. What was this mom of Michio thinking, honestly? Like, what the f*** was her thought process into bringing this man into her house? Sure, he was like cute at first probably, but first of all, he came from prison. And then he started putting things up on your wall, you, chanting. Kick this man out of your house, call the police or something. He's also like to make himself younger, so what? He could Christ, lady. I'm not really one for victim blaming, but Jesus, take better care of yourself and your family. Since he just happened to land in prison at the same time as Nejima, he made sure to get in contact. Does this a lot. I mean, even having it all laid out like this. The thought of Nejima being involved with these grimoires is staggering. I don't think we ever had anything pointing to that. What's the connection? To be honest, it's a shock to me too. For years we've been scratching our heads over the motives behind the Nejima murders. Probably for resurrection then, huh? Or eternal youth or whatever, but like why would he want these things? Like, why would he want to resurrect someone? Yep. It's been a mystery to us all from this very start. Whoa now. Wait just 1 minute. Do you think... No way. Are you saying... That's right. The murders might have been for a ritual. He was attempting to perform black magic. The instructions written down for the sacrificial offering match up exactly with the acts carried out by Nejima. You've gotta be kidding me. So the sadistic crap he was doing was all for black magic? That's what the evidence suggests. However, Nejima tried to do some type of resurrection ritual, but EY had different motives. Chief Inspector, you might think this is all the stuff of fantasy, but that doesn't refute that Nejima and EY were both acting in earnest. This is batshit insane. You're telling me that the nut job did this all for some hokey-pokey resurrection? Shit. Resurrection. That means there must have been someone Nejima wanted to bring back to life. Damn, that's it! That has to be it. Fucking hell, it all makes sense now. What is it? So about Nejima murders. There's some information that's been kept from the public. Go on. We broke into his house and arrested him. We also found a baby. A baby? Wasn't this guy quite young? I can't imagine him being a dad already. And it was a girl. Looked to be about 6 months old, but she was covered in filth. She looked so weak and sickly. We called the medics right away. If we were a second later, I'm sure the girl would have died. So was Nejima the father? No way! He told us he'd found her under a bridge. He found her? She was abandoned? I've heard the parents threatening to leave their child under a bridge as a threat, but I think it really happens. I suppose there are those cases with the dead newborns found stuffed in the coin lockers. So it's not without precedent. Wow. I actually recently read a book, Coin Locker Babies. I wasn't expecting of course, some things are like kind of taken from real life, but I didn't think the coin locker thing actually was a real thing, where they stuff newborn babies into them. That's kind of fucked up. I mean, most of them were prostitutes that were doing it, which makes a lot of sense because they can't do their job with babies and children running around and stuff, but fuck. Whatever the case, we never found out the truth. There's one rumor from back then that I could never get out of my mind. And it's starting to sound more likely now. Well, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of it. Many believe Nejima's guilty of more crimes than we got him convicted. Back then a lot of girls went missing.
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Among the high school girls that might have been murdered, or maybe I should say sacrificed, was a girl who was pregnant.
Goodness. That's horrific.
He killed her and dismembered her body, and we thought maybe the baby we found is what he pulled out from inside of her. Don't misunderstand me, this is all speculation on top of more speculation here. But I for one believe that man would just take it in baby if you found under a bridge.
I'm feeling sick.
Stay strong, ma'am. I know this is hard to hear. Like I said, don't take that to be the full truth. We were running on speculation back then. Now that this whole resurrection magic has come into play, we should consider the possibility it was his child. And that maybe he was trying to revive whoever the mother might have been. It's just a theory, but my life would be a tad easier if it were true.
Yeah, but then that doesn't make any sense still, because he already started the murders before he got pregnant. So why kill her just to revive her again? What was he? Did he feel sorry again? Like, oh fuck, she had a baby, I want to revive her and continue killing people? It doesn't make any sense, because as far as I know, this wasn't his first victim, and even if it was, there was no reason for him to kill, because the motive for killing was resurrection. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. Or maybe I'm just missing something here and I'm just incredibly stupid, who knows? That's an interesting thought. If there's anyone Nejima would want to resurrect, the deceased wife is as good a guess as any. The fact that he obtained the curse stone suggests he has an interest in the rite of resurrection. Damn, you're right. But here I was thinking that he was only after the curse's power to massacre. Chief Inspector.
Yeah.
What happened to the child?
Don't tell me that Haruhi is actually adopted now. That she was the child of Nejima. I mean, it would explain a lot of her unhinged behaviors, but it was decided to keep the circumstances secret for the sake of the child's future.
Well, I'm glad she was taken care of.
Alright, back to the investigation. Don't mean to derail the conversation, but there's still more written in EY's journal. We know EY had managed to obtain the grimoire thanks to the advice he got from his idol Nejima while in prison. After conducting research and gathering more information, he determined he had the chance to get rich quick. Right, he thought he could make some money if he could successfully use rejuvenation magic. Correct. Turns out someone gave him the idea. And get this. It was the one and only queen and chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps herself, Natsue Yamamori. Wait, the chairwoman of Hihaku Soaps?
So that's where this leads.
Here, let me read what he wrote. The queen of Hihaku has a strange fear of growing old. Her fear of death is even worse if she does die. If she does die, she wishes to be revived, and she will spend whatever it takes to preserve her beauty. Magic rituals and rites, she'll use whatever means necessary. Her tenacity is unbelievable. She was apparently investing money into any research on resurrection, the restoration of youth and the like. So she would even throw her money at the occult. The places greed will take you. Well then, that brings us to Hideki Araishi. She presumably funded his research into Rite of Resurrection as well. That's what it all points towards. I wouldn't be surprised if the Witch of Hihaku pounced at the rumors of the Rite of Resurrection. Starting to sound likely. It might also be why she's spreading the rumor about having godly powers. It's a convenient cover for her if she becomes young again. Godly powers? What's that all about? You can ignore that. Either way, I think EY took the payments he was getting for his research to seduce the family into taking him in to keep a low profile. The Shirashi family, Michio and her mother, Toshiko, were just his unlucky marks. And this is where you get involved. Are you feeling steady, ma'am?
Huh? This has something to do with me? Are you saying that? No, you can't mean.
You've realized, then.
Perhaps.
Michiko Nejima's child. Either living sacrifice or child. Child. Oh. Fuck, okay, wait, let's go back. I'm a little bit confused right now. Toshiko Shiraishi, Michio Shiraishi's. I mean, none of these other people have anything to do with her, so magic. His magic was magic?
Fumichika Nejima's living sacrifice was a child?
Oh. What? Ma'am, please calm down. That wasn't it.
Oh. Was I mistaken? Then what did you mean?
Ma'am, please calm down.
EY moved in with the Shiraishis to practice his magic.
He needed a sacrifice to perform his youth restoration spell, but that meant extracting the life force from someone young.
So it was EY. This man.
EY worshipped Nejima, so he must have also despised Nejima's detractors. Not to mention he was captured and sent to jail once before. Surely he had a bone to pick with the police. So when he realized he had the chance to both avenge Nejima, embarrass the police, and acquire a living sacrifice at the same time... Fuck! You got it. EY kidnapped Haruhi Shigema's son, and managed to score 3 birds with 1 stone.
You're telling me that horrid man, he never had the intention of returning my child.
I thought there might have been a reason why the kidnapper seemed to be mocking the police. He never wanted money. His aim was to humiliate the force. It all makes sense. He must have used Michio to lower your boy's defenses, and then kidnapped him on his way back home.
That man, he took Shuichi.
Ma'am, please calm down. I understand, but you must remember to breathe.
You don't understand. You have absolutely no idea what I'm going through. This isn't a joke. I wouldn't expect the police to understand. You'll never understand. Living sacrifices. What a stupid, stupid idea from a stupid little man.
Please. Please, lady. You come off as such a fucking hypocrite right now. Because Wu was the one that was willing to kill as many people as possible to resurrect their own son, huh? Okay, ma'am, let's just take a moment to breathe. Why don't we get some fresh air?
I can't believe this. This is
Chief, I think it's best we take our leave. But before we go, there's one more important piece of information noted in this journal. Oh. EY got in contact with Nejima last year, after Nejima was released on parole. He provided him with accommodation and financial support. Is that so? How did he even have financial support? This guy's broke. He managed to find a hideout for Nejima to stay in. Damn it. If anything. Rather than using his money to support the Shiraishis, it seems most went to Nejima instead. If Nejima is lurking around anywhere at this moment, it's probably in that hideout. Did he write where it is? Unfortunately, no. Not that I can tell. But it seems Michio knew where it was. She never met with Nejima in person, but she was made to go in and clean up, among other things. What good is that information? The girl's already dead. Wait, no. She's alive. That's right. Michio Shiraishi is alive. This pose, what the fuck is this, JoJo? If you can find her and get her to talk, you can get her to spill the beans on his hideout. Investigator, I'm asking you. I should be going. The lady's not well. Kankichiro Iwai. Kankichiro once made a living by placing advertisements in magazines to sell phony magic items and good luck charms. Why is he such like a... He sounds... He sounds like a little astrology bitch, like a little... I don't know, he's really into the paranormal stuff, which really doesn't suit him for some reason. Oh, so funny. He looked like he could be straight up into like Yakuza or something, you know? He held a nostalgic yearning for the post-war era, when things and people were simple, and had nothing but negative things to say about the rapidly developing ostentatious world of late. Ridicule in his beliefs that it would be better to tear down society and start over again. Kankichiro was discontent with his life spent poking around in society's cesspools to make a few coins. When the Najima murders were widely reported in the media, it had a great impact on Kankichiro, as he witnessed how a single act by a single man could cause a major rift in society. Perceiving Fumichika Nejima as a great hero, he began collecting every piece of information he could find on the man. Kankichiro was later arrested for his illegal business practices, and a chance meeting with Fumichika during his incarceration solidified his idolization. He was captivated by Fumichika's talk of black magic, and following his release acquired the grimoire Fumichika had hidden away. As for Toshiki Shiraishi, Kankichiro set his sight on her after encountering her at her part-time job. When he learned that the Shiraishi family was in financial trouble and could not afford to send Michio to college, he turned on the charm and took advantage of their weakness by offering them money. He revealed his true colors, however, after moving in with the family and used violence and money to keep Toshiko and Michio under his thumb. All the while, his belief in black magic deepened and he found a sponsor in the Hihaku Corporation. Kankichiro forced the Shiraishi family to perform various rituals, with any attempts to resist being met with merciless beatings. The mother and daughter were helpless to resist. After Hihaku offered Kankichiro great sums to intensify his work with black magic, he set his mind to sacrificing a child in order to perform a youth restoration spell. For this purpose, he chose Shuichi Shigema, the son of Harue Shigema, against whom Fumichika held a grudge. He attempted to enlist Michio so as not to alarm the boy, and when she resisted, beat her muddy 20 times. With Michio's assistance, Kankichiro kidnapped Shuichi and locked him up in the Shiraishi house, and told the young and a courageous boy that he'd kill Michio if he tried to run. While his actions were motivated by personal grudge against the police, it was first and foremost an attempt to create a societal uproar and break down in public order. So Kankichiro painted the crime as a regular kidnapping, demanding a ransom from the family. However, because of an embargo on the press, the kidnapping did not cause a public outcry akin to that of the Nejima murders. Infuriated, Kankichiro had Toshiko perform the sacrifice ritual by threatening to kill Michio if she refused. Toshiko killed Shuichi in his sleep, but the spell failed, for which Kankichiro blamed her. Oh my god, Toshiko. Warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother. Jesus Christ. I don't know, this sounds like a lot fucking worse than him peeping in on her a few times while she's changing. Jesus.
warning Michio to keep silent about the murder to avoid incriminating her mother. Kankichiro dumped the boy's body in a nearby river. The tiny corpse was found a week later in the Sumida River after floating through several canals in Honjo. Having drifted for days in the polluted waters, little evidence remained. Although Kankichiro performed no further sacrifices, his devotion to black magic only increased. Toshiko and Michio spent their days consumed by guilt, forced to continue serving Kankichiro until the day they died. Fuck. That's really dark. Are you feeling better now that we've gotten some fresh air, ma'am? I'm fine. Suddenly finding out who the kidnapper was really made me lose my wits. We managed to solve the kidnapping case by pure luck here. You're right, but Richter, I feel grateful towards Michio.
Because she killed the kidnapper?
There's that too. But it's for something else. If Michio is the one killing all these people, then she must have acquired quite a sizable amount by now. Soul dregs, I mean.
How are you still thinking of this?
Hey, Richter. Whether the kidnapper's dead or alive, it doesn't mean a thing. Revenge won't bring my boy back. And if Nejima's planning to cause a massacre to collect soul dregs, then all the better. I won't give up on resurrection.
This lady needs to be kept in check.
So, I'm counting on you.
Fucking hell. Well, this time I played up quite a bit. Quite long as well. Kind of to make up for the last time because I had to quit quite early. I mean, not that much earlier than usual, but I don't know. It felt really short. Especially storyline wise. But now that I've caught up quite a bit, I'm gonna call it quits here. That's insane. That's seriously insane. Didn't expect Haruhi to be going that route. I was kind of hoping she'd got some character development of some sort, but I was wrong. And I think Richter Kai needs to help her out a bit here, because she's going down a dark path. I also really enjoyed that all the characters kind of met up now, besides the high schoolers and Haruhi and Richter Kai, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, because I'd be a bit scared of what would happen to Yako and Mio if it did. Well then, that was a lot of information at once. I'm gonna go process that. Alright then. Oui. Ciao.